Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Tomb Raider 2013 on the PC, and this is my hard difficulty guide for the aforementioned title. We're currently on part 3, and this is my favorite part of the game. So the first move that I make is to take care of that guy, and then the light behind the gun turret, so take that out. And then the guy controlling the gun turret, you will need to take him out because I think he goes to investigate the source of what happened, but I don't think he comes down that particular level that he's on. And then the guy swigging from the beer, you can take him out. And then the guy taking a piss, I think he's taking a piss. This guy right over to the left, he might be done with his piss. If he's not taking a piss, I don't know what he was doing, but I seem to remember that there is some kind of a piss taker over here, and I know it was somebody on the left. So I cleared this section without sounding any alarms. If you sound alarms, enemies, obviously they're just going to come after you and be shooting at you. So it's better to be stealthy. When I played this game when it came out, I was not somebody who appreciated stealth the way I do now. I don't like pure stealth games like Splinter Cell or even things like Dishonored that I've never played. But I do like an element of stealth in the game. And when you think about it, a modern game that doesn't have an element of stealth, it really isn't treated with the same level of respect and maturity that other games are. That's what I find anyway. Because there's something, I think there's just something to be said for the contemplative nature with which you go after enemies and hunt them down. Because it's silent, it's swift, and it makes you feel really empowered, and it can also be very challenging. So if you're having problems staying hidden in this game, simply shoulder swap, because when you do that, you are then put into a different position in the game world, and it isn't natural. I mean, it feels natural, but is it realistic? I wouldn't say it is, because not everybody is ambidextrous. But this is a video game. These aren't real people, so it doesn't matter what hand they use better. So just investigate the fallen bodies, and we're going to come up this ramp right here and then do some more fights. There is a fight that's pretty challenging coming up, but since it starts off in slow motion, I really can't say that it's hard whatsoever. Because not only does it start in slow motion, like the majority of the fight at first is all in slow motion, and it's kind of holding your hand and telling you how to do combat kicks and shooting people in the head, which you should already know how to do by now. But we all learn at our own pace, so don't worry about anything. A weapon mod is available, but we won't be upgrading. So we don't have incendiary arrows, so I don't know how a gasoline tank like that would blow up. But again, it doesn't much matter because it's the way the game functions, and we don't have to psychoanalyze every darn thing in the game. So there's this guy here. There's going to be a dual machete wielder jumping out of a vent up here, and he comes at you pretty fast. So sometimes you can actually fall back as much as you want to if the game permits it. And, you know, go in a room, go behind a corner, just go somewhere clever where there's not a lot of empty space for your arrows to miss a potential head. But I think this game is just fantastic. I think I like Uncharted more, but it's the type of game where if you really like Uncharted, I can't see anybody that likes Uncharted not liking this game, because they're just so similar, and they've got that degree of charm to them, don't they? So anyway, you pull the valve, and then this guy's going to try to attack you. He has a gun that we'll get from him when we take him down. But as of now, just jump back into this room, pick up one of these lanterns, and you'll just be throwing it in there, which will then cause an explosion, and he will perish. And I think if you want to, you can kill him, but I wouldn't waste a bullet on him. So the gunfight that I was saying that was kind of hard is coming up right next. And they put a checkpoint. Oh yeah, anytime you see me go to the map, it's because I am presuming that I can skip a cutscene, but it's turning out to be not a cutscene. So make sure you pick up your ammo in this next room here. And then guys are going to be coming after you very fast, and there are not many places to stand that are any good over here, which is the biggest problem. It's a problem, yes, but not as nearly much of a problem as when I'm trying to watch a Sony Vegas window preview screen and it keeps going to a black screen, a perpetual black screen I should add, every 5 minutes, and it's causing me to not even be able to narrate these videos, which is incredibly fucking frustrating. So I'm not sure what the problem is, and now I've closed the software, but now you won't even know the strategies because I had to rant right there. And now let me just say this: there's one guy that comes out of the office. Coming up here is the best idea because the enemies have to jump up to the second floor via the way that you just saw one of those other guys do it, and then also via the way that this guy is doing it now. So you come back, you hug the wall, and only the Molotovs can hit you. I don't think their gunfire can hit you if you stand all the way to the left. But we've got a couple of throwers here of some shit. And I'm sorry that I got so angry right there, but just imagine you're trying to narrate something that's 20 minutes long, and then every 3 or 5 minutes, everything, like the screen you're watching, turns black, and it doesn't stop turning black. And then I have to exit out. And if it happens again, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if it's Bandicam. I don't know if it's my display drivers. I don't know if it's Sony Vegas. None of these problems used to exist, and I think it's just my computer just getting really old. So that's why another thing is causing me to upgrade my computer. It's just the fucking thing is so old. How old is it? I got it in 2011, so it's 4 years old. It was well spec'd out at the time, but 4 years is a long time in technology. So you do get a checkpoint over here, and there's going to be one more guy. And do you see that red barrel? I think you can well imagine what I'm going to do. If not, you'll see by and by. But we're going to double back here, let him cross it, and explode the barrel via the arrow, and then take him down. Come out here now. And I think we're going to be in the snow pretty soon. If not, I think we just need to go through some venting, and then we'll be there presently. So what I can do, an option I can do if I see the black screen, is just to continue talking and hope it returns to the video, or not or, but and I can just talk about random things that, obviously because I can't see any of the video, I can just talk about things that are not related to the video, which I can't see. If you want to know some backstory about the first video, what I did is I recorded the audio commentary because I was waiting for the software to download from Steam, and I didn't want to be talking like well into the night. I just wanted to play quietly at night. So I did the commentary first, and then I recorded the gameplay, and then god damn that ass, man. Didn't I talk about that last time? I think I said the same thing there. But I think the woman who voices her is Camille Luddington, and holy shit, she is like one of the most gorgeous women you'll ever see in your life. So we've got a grabber who's going to be knocked into the chasm presently. So do those QTEs and prepare to do a longish fight, which starts right now. Sorry for the awkward edit right there. But we're going to have some guys throwing Molotovs per usual. It's kind of annoying in this game. And see that clipping? God damn that clipping. It's not really the waste of the arrows. It's just the fact that he should be dead. He should be dead. Even though he's dead, I think now, is he dead? I don't know. That is horrible clipping. Because the arrow clearly was past the geometry of that blue barrel he was hiding behind. And as far as I know, you can't switch where your weapons are located, which I think is disappointing, really disappointing. So you've got to do several waves of enemies here, but it's not hard. I think that's one of the things about this game where, like when you're playing Uncharted on Crushing or Brutal, you feel scared, you feel worried, because progress in that game is really hard to earn. But in this game, it's just pretty casual, and this is the hardest difficulty too. There really should have been a very hard difficulty. It looked like that guy was on the edge of a bar just passing out right there. If you rewind that, it's kind of funny. But if you get headshots, you get more experience points, plus 15, which you can use for upgrades. So if you want to follow this guide, and maybe it's kind of new to you, the game that is, go ahead and upgrade. You know, this is just to give me a little bit of extra challenge because I've already beat this game, and if I play stuff that's easy, I don't feel like I'm having much of a good time, and I feel like I'm wasting time as well. And I don't feel that sense of satisfaction that I usually get from playing really hard games. So anyway, when you come down here, the tower over here can be exploded with this, and then when we get to the other side, we'll fight a heavy with a shield. Even though I don't think I would constitute him as a heavy, because he's the same kind of foe over here. He just has a shield. So you can really bitch out over here by standing up here and waiting for them to come back, and that's what I was doing at first, just out of old habit. But it's just not necessary. And another thing about this bow is that we have to keep the base level of the rate of fire. Oh yeah, what was I doing here? I thought I would just keep these type of things in, you guys, just because it's a casual kind of editing style anyway, where I'm not editing out with a bunch of extreme editing tools like I used for some other projects, just because there's way too many cutscenes. There is a surfeit of cutscenes. And do you know why you wouldn't say there are a surfeit of cutscenes? It's because you have to focus on which word is hold on a second. Someone's trying to text me. Like, you have to find the subject of the sentence. The subject was surfeit, so if you don't know what that is, it's surfeit, and it means an abundance. If you're wondering why I didn't just say abundance, it's because maybe I'll say abundance later on in a different sentence. But for now, I just want to say surfeit. Oh, another thing, what I was trying to do there, since I had played Uncharted 1 recently, is try to shoot from a ledge while it's hanging, and you can't do that. And I also don't think you can blind fire in this game. So when I say this game has just about everything to cater to your type of gameplay, it perhaps doesn't, but it does have, I think the most important ones, it's just the shoulder swapping and the center camera for me personally. Okay, so you can stand your ground up here. You might even have to, because if you go too far back, it's going to be hard to hit these guys. So what you need to be doing a lot of ducking and weaving in this game with the B button. And it's not too bad because her scramble's pretty decent. Gets you out of harm's way well enough. But many a time, you might find yourself scrambling right into the fire. What can you really do about that? Just eat the damage, because you don't get damaged too much on this anyway. I mean, I'm just standing here expecting to die, thinking to myself, I'll just put an edit there. Fortunately, the screen hasn't turned black, and I think the reason was I was having the software in the background. That must be the reason why. So shooting around these corners is just, it's really causing problems because of that clipping issue. I think that's one of the things where they either don't have the time, to polish all that out, or it's just not possible to. I'm not sure. It's definitely an issue that a normal casual person playing the game wouldn't even notice, but okay, so you have a choice of what you want to do here. I choose to hold the trigger and aim and scramble at the same time, rather than just widening the peripheral vision and scrambling without locking on, because this way you can actually lock on. So if you don't know what I'm doing here, all you need to do is aim at him, and while you're holding the aim button, move away from him and then press the B button, and more times than not you'll be able to have an opening to hit him. And the more times you hit him in the head, the faster he'll fall, obviously. So it wasn't the best demonstration, but it was still okay. And now we're gonna have some piece of shit throwing stuff at us, because that's what I guess he does best. Except get burned up by the fire, because 7 years ago we all went through the fucking flames, right, you guys? I love that sentence from Dracula. It's in the epilogue of Dracula. What was that, a rat? The rat was highlighted. That was funny. And I'm opening this for no good reason. But 7 years ago we all went through the flames. That is just so... It's moving. It's moving, man. I mean, I'm moving in my chair. Just kidding, obviously. We're gonna head up the tower, get a really good time just moving up the ladder. Kind of boring stuff, but I could have edited this out, but then it wouldn't have any seamlessness to it, or continuity, I think is a better word. So some of these ladder sequences, the majority of the time you do have to hold up on the analog. So we're just about finished, y'all. We're gonna move on out of here, and after we transmit a message, that will be the conclusion of the video. Damn. God damn it all. I'm sitting right close to the I'm sitting right next to the monitor too, so that ass is like, it's twice as big as it normally would be. I'll have to Google her later, because I forgot what she looks like, but I know she's like an incredibly, impossibly beautiful woman. And I can't remember where I saw her. It was on some game show, obviously, some gaming coverage. Oh, I know what it was. I think it was from the Q&A for the definitive edition that they were making. And I bought a PS4 just for the definitive edition, and I was let down. Like I was let down for the entire console. I personally don't think you need a PS4. You just... for God of War 4, obviously, but Cory Barlog himself in a recent tweet said that they're barely scratching the surface of beginning that thing, so I might be dead before that comes out. You guys, we all might be dead by the time that shit comes out. So I'm not going to say the psychotic take here this time. I won't put you through that, but I will tell you this: it will come when you least expect it. Take care.